Unity UT521 Digital Earth Tester, designed to measure earth resistance of power utility and telecom utilities grounding system. Earth resistance testing is very important to ensure the safety of personnel and equipments in case of power surges in the outside and inside plant. A good grounding system will effectively drain to ground dangerous surges from high voltage distribution spikes and lightning strikes. UT521 can measure voltages up to 200 volts AC, 50 or 60 Hz. It has different resistance test ranges to select to achieve the most reliable resistance value. For the 20 ohm range, it can test from 0 to 20 ohms. For the 200 ohm range, it can test from 0 to 200 ohms. For the 2000 ohm range, it can test from 0 to 2000 ohms. Ideal value of earth resistance depends on the utility. But here in the Philippines, for the telco utility, the ideal value is 5 ohms and below. During the test, higher range should be selected, meaning start with 2000 ohm range, then 200 ohm range, and if still lower than 20 ohms, use the 20 ohm range. UT521 is supplied with the following accessories: 5 meters green test leads, 10 meters yellow test lead, 20 meters red test lead, 2 pieces of auxiliary earth stakes, 1 set of simple test leads with alligator clips, 6 pieces of size AA alkaline batteries, 1 carrying bag, and 1 English manual. Before doing the earth resistance testing, measure first the voltage on the ground rod to be tested with respect to ground. Insert the simple test leads, red and green, to the voltage port and the ground port of the UT521. Clip ends of the probes to the ground rod and the auxiliary earth stake inserted to the soil. Then set the knob from off to earth voltage. Ideal voltage is 0 volts up to 10 volts AC. If voltage is more than 10 volts AC, please check if the ground rod is disconnected to the grounding system. On earth testing, disconnect the 20-meter red test lead to C port, the 10-meter yellow test lead to P port, and the 5-meter green test lead to the E port or the green port. The red test lead should be clipped to the auxiliary stake located at the farthest point of at least 10 to 20 meters away from the tested ground rod. The yellow test lead should be clipped to the auxiliary stake located at the middle point between the farthest stake and the ground rod of at least 5 to 10 meters. The green test lead should be clipped on the tested ground rod. At this configuration, the C port will inject a 50 volts AC to the ground flowing from the red test lead to the ground. Current will now flow from the red probe and to yellow probe resistance and the yellow probe to green probe resistance, which is the ground rod resistance. The yellow port and green port will act like a voltmeter which measures the voltage across this point. Inside UT521, it will divide the voltage measured from the AC current it generated, and resistance can now be computed. Please see the formula. Rx is equals to voltage across Rx divided by the current. If any of the test probe is not properly connected according to the setup, UT521 will not give any resistance result or it will display 0.00. Make sure the clips and auxiliary stake contact points are cleaned for low resistance connection.